Good morning, Eastern Oregon, on this AM live version of on EOA Live, your connection to Eastern Oregon on December the 2nd. It's December. It just kills me, man.
Yeah, already.
I know.
Already.
I can't get it together. So I don't think we got a proper notification on our Facebook. So I'm going to start another version of that.
I see it up there, but
yeah, it didn't really notify folks. So anyhow, so we might have comments in a couple of different places. Yeah. So how are you this morning?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good. It's Friday before Friday.
That's right. So tonight you have a Keeping It Clear.
Yeah, Keeping It Clear with Cody Bowen tonight at 5:30. Special guest, Chief Gary Bell. It ought to be interesting because that letter came out this week from Chief Bell about Max Square. So I'm kind of anticipating quite a few questions around that, which he's already fielded at City Council. But a lot of people, don't tune into City Council that tune into me and Cody's show. So good morning, Cody. Speaking of Cody, there he is right there.
They don't.
So yeah, we'll I'm sure we're gonna address that, and we'll just keep it cool and talk about a few other things and not talk about COVID again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't even want to talk about it. But I'm sure somebody's going to be like, what if the Omicron, whatever that thing is, I don't even know what it's, I don't know. But with Keeping It Clear with Cody Bowen and Chief Bell, just to give people a preface, like a local business downtown wrote a letter. It went to the city manager, then it went to Chief Bell. Chief Bell wrote a letter in response to that, which, I mean, there was nothing controversial about it. It's just the whole thing with Max Square. And like we were talking about on the show on Tuesday, when you were filming that Christmas tree thing, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, come on, man. Like, we got to do something.
Yeah, so those that don't know, there was as I was filming, there was stuff tagged in the background. I didn't know.
Not pleasant stuff.
Yeah.
Well, people did in the comments.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, I noticed it afterwards. Well, because you told me. I was like,
there's a big giant F-bomb on the wall.
I was paying attention. I was paying attention to what I was doing, interviewing. So had my mind full. So hey, before we get going, we have a couple of tickets to give away to the Elgin Opera House play, this weekend's version of Tuck Everlasting. Be sure we'll do that in a post here, a separate post. And if you share that post, then that kind of puts you in the drawing, and we'll be giving those away tomorrow sometime early in the morning, so that if you want to, you can, and it's valid for any show this weekend. There's a show on Friday night and then 2 shows on Saturday afternoon. So be sure and watch for that if you're interested in that. So, and then just kind of as a side note, tomorrow night at 5:00 is the downtown Twilight Christmas Parade. I'm going to try and stream that. I haven't got it all figured out yet, but that's going to be a cool event.
Why do they have the streets closed for 3 hours for a parade? I haven't seen a parade last more than 7 minutes in LeGrand.
You're telling me information I don't know.
Oh, I saw a post from the police department that says the streets, how they put out that post that has the street blockage sign, and it says, for your information, the streets are going to be closed from this time to this time. It's a 3-hour gap.
Well,
sounds like Union Pacific Railroad to me right there. My goodness.
Well, I know that the Max Square, this intersection right out here by us, people will be wandering around there the whole time during the Christmas tree lighting and stuff. So maybe that's the deal, is since that main intersection has to be blocked to accommodate people wandering around. I don't know. Chief Bell will be on. Chief Bell will be on tonight. We can ask him. And he'll be like, I don't know. I'd have to talk to somebody who
actually gets it. Like, that's above my pay grade.
Yeah.
You'd be like, don't you guys do the city council meetings? Couldn't you ask somebody that actually knows this stuff? That poor guy probably gets barraged. You want to know something really disappointing? Like,
what's that?
Yesterday, I overheard somebody talking in public, and I'm not gonna name any names like of who like they got pulled over by or anything, but he was talking about getting pulled over and somebody going to jail and this and that, and he's just like, he said that he was proud that he had 250 blues on him, which, I mean, I don't even know what a blue is, but I'm assuming it's some kind of illegal pill. Cody would probably know, but I mean, it's like, man, like, if people in public proud of that, like, really? It's like, what are we?
So he had,
so
and he didn't get arrested because of that, or I don't.
No, he's the passenger, I guess. I don't know. He said that somebody else got arrested. Luckily, they didn't check me or something like that. And I just heard, like, I don't even know what a blue is. Honestly, I'm gonna look.
Well, it's probably, I mean, there's a ton of the new fentanyl laced Oxycontin that's in the area, and I think that's what that is. So
I never heard of that called blue.
What a crazy!
I don't think that's what that is, BC. I've never heard fentanyl or Oxycontin called a blue before.
Well, all I know is that the ones that were in the area, 6 months ago that were causing the deaths, they are blue in color. So I don't know.
Maybe I
don't know.
I'm not big in that game.
Yeah.
Don't know much about it. So
yeah, I do know that. Man. I mean, we've talked about that before in a number of occasions, and so is Cody. Is that, I mean, our local law enforcement is incredibly frustrated by their inability to, their hands are tied and they can't enforce some stuff. Yeah. Well, hey,
I just think it's more disappointing that people are bragging, like out in public bragging about.
I don't.
Like,
I can't even get my head around that.
Me neither.
Speaking of.
That's what VC knew what it was, huh? Wow. Speaking of blues, what's blue and not very heavy?
What?
Light blue.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God. Christmas. It's too early for that.
Cody's cracking himself up. Yeah.
It's pretty funny, actually.
You are a dad laughing at your own jokes. Yeah.
That is pretty funny.
Well, hey, let's
check the weather.
Let's look at the weather. Oh, wow. Look at there.
You had that program to do that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that's we're going to be talking to Frank from Cam Designs here in a few minutes, and they just finished our van, and that's parked out across the street. And so I pointed our weather cam at it. But anyhow, let's take a look at Gabe's predictions.
Oh, the people don't get to see the weather, huh, today?
No.
We're in a weird spot. We're in the wrong spot, BC, on the screen.
I know. I'm fixing it.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. Well, I was just so we can actually see
right,
it. It's going to be warm again today. Developing fog and drizzle, lows in the mid-30s. Wow.
Yeah. All right. And then tomorrow. Is that your phone, dude?
That is my phone.
Yeah.
That's abnormal.
I know. I thought you were one
high
of
those 50. Lows in the upper 30s. What do we got? Mostly cloudy. No, at least no rain tomorrow, most likely. Patchy fog. Huh. Interesting. We got weird weather, man.
I know.
That's why this is tripping me out.
I mean, yesterday afternoon, it was incredibly warm. I could not believe it. I mean, it was just I walked across the street and relaxed for a few minutes and sat out in the sunshine. It was just like, this is December. Yeah. Kind of weird.
If I look away from the screen, it's because I'm monitoring another Facebook feed because we have two of them going right now. So bear with me, folks, because I'm looking at another Facebook feed as well. Because some comments aren't going to come up on here. Only the first feeds comments are coming up on there. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, hey,
Alrighty.
let's get Frank over here. Let me show if I can find it here. Sorry, a little video here. So this is a little video of Frank and his family. Frank and Shasta and Riley are kind of the main workers, but also Frank's family helps in the shop. And here's a little video of them working on. We're going to put together something longer, but this was just something I shot last night. And then Frank will join us when it's done. All right.
Boom.
Hey, Frank, how are you?
Good morning. Doing good.
Morning.
Glad to be here.
Good. So, hey, that's cool. You guys do a lot more than just van wraps, but that just happens to be where you guys most recently impacted our lives. And man, that looks just so cool. And we're so thankful to be in a partnership with you guys to do that for us.
Yep.
Well, yeah, it was a fun project for us. I really can't take much credit for it. I think it was mostly Brent and Riley that collaborated on it. So, yeah, I'll take credit, but it was not. There's not much of me in that. So, my son's very, very good at it.
Well, and your operation is a little bit like ours, although Shasta has more time to spend down there than what my wife Tanya does. But she kind of runs the ship a little bit. I mean, I know you guys do the work, but it's funny because every time Tanya, she comes in about 5 or 5:15 every day. And so when I hear the door rattle, I'll say, "Okay, guys, get to work. The boss is here." And I'll wait. Yeah.
That's the way we are.
That's why I try to be gone right around.
Yes, our wives keep the ship in ship shape. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. But man, I have enjoyed working with you guys on this project and just really appreciate it. And for those of you that don't know, Kyle and I have been talking for a long time about that we kind of needed a moving billboard of some kind. And so I bought this van this last summer, kind of on a whim, found it and then connected with Frank and Shasta, and they're helping us out with the van. And man, it's just, my initial idea, Frank, was just to, kind of throw the logo up there, and you guys just made it so much more, adding the different components. And I mean, it just looks pretty. I really like it. So
Good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. So, well, tell us a little
I
bit
won't
about
feel creepy driving it anymore. I'll feel like
Yeah, Cody won't be pulling you over at 1 a.m. wondering what is that crazy van doing, creeping around.
Why you got blinds on the windows?
Yeah, that's true. We can take the blinds out of the windows now.
Yeah,
right?
we don't need them anymore.
Yeah. And that van, I mean, I really was looking for some kind of a panel van, but this was nice looking, and the interior of it is actually really nice. It's all plush and stuff. It's got, so anyhow, so Frank, tell us a little bit about yourself. How you're not from here. You're from the East. Yeah. But you have been pulled back here. I don't know. Kind of give us your life story in a thumbnail, if you would.
Well, yeah. When you say you're not from here, that's not really a good thing, because
no,
we're proud of our valley here. But no, I'm from upstate New York originally. If you're a baseball fan, born and raised in Cooperstown, New York. So right there in the heart of tourism, Hall of Fame's there. Not that baseball was invented there, but they claimed it, so they get the rights to baseball apparently. No, so that's kind of a rural area, even I think more backwater than Eastern Oregon in many ways. So, you say you're from New York, and you automatically think of downtown Manhattan, but it's very similar. Life's very similar to here. My family I grew up making maple syrup, where we got horse-drawn sleighs and stuff going down the main road. So, yeah, so we're a fairly, simple provincial folk, even from the East Coast. But that area there is a big wood burning area, so that's kind of why we got into that here, to bring some brands to the LeGrand area. But I grew up, and my dad was a construction guy, so I have a strong background in construction. I'm 13 years old. I'm pounding nails, and that's kind of what I always knew. And didn't really go to a whole lot of schooling. Took a few engineering classes after high school, and like a lot of people, dropped out of that. But I think that's handicapped me my whole life. And if I had to make a pitch for staying in school, that would be it. Because you do have more opportunity to do that, you young people out there. So, yeah, so I just kind of made my own way. Have a lot of varied interests. Voracious reader. I'm constantly interested in what people are making, building, doing, new technologies out there. So that's kind of what's driven us to be kind of multifaceted in CAM Designs. We do kind of whatever is needed in the community. So yeah, I started. I got an interest in CNC machinery back pretty early on as a young man, and I've kind of always loved equipment and automated equipment, especially. So that's where our name comes from. CAM is computer-aided manufacturing or machining. So we do have a few machine tools that we use. They're either homemade or too small. So, but yeah, my wife's from here. She was born and raised in LeGrand, and my parents had moved out here when my dad retired. So I met her, and the rest is history. We moved back and forth across the country, and here we are, back in LeGrand. I've spent half my life here, and have good friends on each coast. So that's me. Cool. I mean, I've got 5 children. As you saw, they range from tiny to large.
That's a good way to state it.
I tell I have a 2-year-old.
Snap out of it. Oh, you're going to give it up, huh?
So, yeah, so I'm 55 and I got a 2-year-old. So that makes me a statistic right off the end of the bell curve there. Yeah. So I better keep on working. We keep on going. And there's no chance to get old here.
No, not at all.
Well, that's cool. And you kind of referred to it, but one of the things that you guys also do is sell wood stoves, and you service stoves. Talk about that just a little bit, if you would, Frank.
Well, we just kind of saw a gap here. I mean, there's a very good stove store in Wallowa County, and a lot of folks know that. But there, I think Grant Darrow, which many people used here for years as a resource for wood burning, has retired recently. And so we just saw, we had kind of the location to do something more retail. And so we decided to expand into, selling and servicing wood stoves and installing them, and providing a local resource for navigating some of the new laws and requirements that have, come out. So, yeah, right now, we don't have a lot of stock in there, but we do have a lot of knowledge about wood burning. For a time, when I was still on the East Coast, I worked in combustion science with a fairly big manufacturer of wood burning appliances. So I learned a lot, learned what I didn't know about burning wood. And so that kind of gives me a background in what might help people here in LeGrand. Oregon's a tough place to burn wood. It's getting harder every year, really. So, just even an information resource, we try to be that for people. We don't necessarily, we're not always pitching, to sell something, but something that would provide a more comprehensive resource for people locally. So yeah, we have several manufacturers that we partnered with. It's a highly competitive industry as far as manufacture. So I apologize in advance if we can't rep, your favorite brand. There are a lot of them, and the areas are protected by manufacturers. So we do what we do. We're kind of Johnny come lately in the Valley for that. So we get what we get. But as far as getting them in and installed and answering questions about chimneys and stuff, we're pretty knowledgeable about that. So.
And you clean chimneys too.
Yeah. Because I'm forced to, but yeah, it kind of goes with the game. You've got to go out and look at people's appliance, and it's a necessary thing that needs to be done if you burn wood long term. Most people can be trained to do it themselves if they're able to physically, get up there and do it. Or It's not rocket science, but it is something that needs to be looked at to be safe. So we do it. We don't like it, but we do it.
So is there like a gigantic round rubber wire brush that you like? I mean, how is that even done these days?
Yeah, depending on the chimney, you got to carry a brush for every size. Some are square and rectangular, and some are round. And there's all. I mean, a pellet stove is 3-inch, and then a wood stove can be 6-inch, and then it goes to 8-inch, and then big fireplaces can be 14 inches. So. Wow. What works well for most round stuff that we use is, a rotary whip on a drill, and it just kind of scours the inside of the round pipe. But square, you still need a brush. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Never been much into stove cleaning or
I have,
chimney cleaning.
Yeah.
Well, you ask somebody who's had, a chimney fire and, it builds, it's not really anybody's fault. You can't see inside the chimney, but if you have a chimney fire, it wakes you up. It sounds like a freight train roaring through your house. So it's pretty scary to be able to stop that thing. So yeah, if you've had one, people are pretty diligent afterward to get it clean. Wow.
Well, and so let's switch back to cam stuff, because I was, that's when I first came into your shop and you took me back, and I'm a big technology guy, and it's just very, and I think Kyle ran a cam machine, what's the CNC?
Yeah, when I worked for Medallion, making custom cabinets.
Yeah. And so it's just that's very interesting. And you have built, you are incredibly technical. I mean your ability to build stuff, you weld, you fabricate, and so then there's quite a few of the machines that you built yourself, which is just amazing. I mean, that's an amazing gift that a lot of people do not have. And so that's cool.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, to me, it's, anything you're interested in, I think you kind of, go down that rabbit hole no matter what it is. Like Dodzy with sports, he could talk to me. I wouldn't know from nothing. I'm a complete moron. I don't watch too many sports, and he does. So, I mean, in that arena, he's very, he seems brilliant. But it's really not. I mean, it's just what you're interested in. And my wife says it's a curse, we have all these parts and widgets that I'm going to get to someday.
Right.
But it has, we've been able to monetize some of that interest, which is good. I mean, for my family, at least, that we provide kind of oddball services for people that, like there's a guy that called me recently. He said, I've got this prototype I made and I got some interest in it. I got to make 10,000 of this thing. So I got to try to work up some sort of a jig or a way to manufacture those cheaper. So we, just using your interest, I think, to provide a service that's needed is kind of what we do. It's not really that amazing. There's information's out there. I'm not particularly well educated in any way, but we figure things out,
Yeah.
My engineering background has come into great use, I think. I'm glad that I did learn what I did. But yeah, people are people. I mean, everyone has that little skill or thing they do. And it just seems amazing when you don't know much about it, I
guess. Yeah. Well, and I know people that weld. I grew up in Wyoming, and welding was a part of my family. My grandfather was a blacksmith, and so that kind of goes way back. But somebody who can take fabrication and engineering and put that together and create widgets or machines that move and so on and so forth, that's just a whole nother level, And I remember growing up as a kid, and we worked on automobiles all the time, but there was the guy that I knew that is like he would take a motor from a Ford and put it in a Chevy, and which just is a crazy amount of fabrication in order to do something like that, and that was always amazing to me. That was always interesting. So.
Yeah, and it's like any industry. I mean, we were talking, Brent, about your industry and the advances in technology and how it's impacted what you can do and how easy it is to do things. The same thing has happened in technology as far as what we're available to do in the sign industry. I mean, there's new equipments coming out, taking advantage of new processes, new materials. Material science has come a long way, even in 10 years. So you've got to stay current in whatever you do, and be, see where you can expand. I think in anything you do. So we've done that kind of. We've got good knowledge and advanced materials and ways of doing things that kind of help. Like you saw on your wrap there, that material for wrapping is just, it blows my mind that what you can do with it. I mean, having a background and just putting stickers on windows and stuff, it's amazing what manufacturers are able to produce. So, that's part of it. Yeah. Making things is, you take advantage of things you've learned, processes and materials that are out there that maybe not mainstream, but are possible, even in a little town.
Yeah. Interesting.
So what is, all of the stuff that you do, what do you love doing, Frank? What's the thing that's like, oh man, when I finally get to do that, it's just a lot of fun?
Well, I shouldn't say. My wife says it's the new thing. Whatever's new, So some new thing comes out. I'm like, hey, I'm going to try to build that crazy thing.
Yeah.
And then I get bored with it, and it sits there. But yeah, I really like. I think finding a new technology and trying to kind of exploit that, figure out how does it work, rather than just buying and selling things. I mean, we do it because it's a necessary evil to to pay the bills, but. Yeah, I'd rather be back there inventing something that I saw some guy on YouTube make or something,
Yeah.
Love making things, I guess, new original things, and then I throw them away and start something else.
You watch a lot of YouTube videos?
Not as much as I need to, probably. I do, yeah. You get sucked in on YouTube. One thing leads to another.
You can figure out a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Oh, that's what I tell people. They look at something I made, and I was like, I just watch YouTube. Learned how to fix a kayak or whatever it is.
I fixed a washing machine, some fuel sensor in my Suburban. Like, you can figure out all kinds of stuff on YouTube.
I think the internet has been a great resource. It's the great, melting pot of knowledge. And what you guys are doing here would not have been possible, even 15 years ago. It would have just been impossible to reach an audience like we're doing today. And the same is true, of YouTube. You can learn anything. There are a lot of smart people out there, and they collaborate and they make things work. And that's the way I learn things. Just other people know I'm not creative, but I can copy. So that's what I do.
Oh,
well, yeah.
I got a comment on the other side. Scott Newton says, nice to see everyone this morning. It's been a long time, Dodsy. Hope you're doing good. And nice to see Frank. I've known Frank and his family for a long time. Hope everyone is good. Scott Newton. I graduated with him.
You just tell Scotty to be quiet.
Well, I can't. All right, I'll put it in.
Morning, Scott. Yeah.
It's on a different feed. He's watching, so he heard you.
Yeah. Morning, Scott.
Oh,
yeah, he's good.
So you moved back here not too, I don't know, how long ago, Frank, did you guys come back to this area? And then talk about the shop where you were, because you've recently relocated.
So I started investigating moving out here. I think it was maybe 2017, somewhere in there. We had to sell a house, so that kept us there. I guess it's been 6 years plus now that we've actually been moved here. We came here. I looked for a real job before I started my own business. It's not, as you guys know, it's not for the faint of heart to be an entrepreneur type person. But there just wasn't much in the field that I was qualified for. So I've said, well, we'll take the equipment and stuff that we had, and I moved everything out here, all of our homemade equipment, and we just kind of started making signs. Actually, John Lackey got us started. Most of you know John, in his little brick building that's over there on Jefferson, I guess it is. And he gave us just a little space, and we got started making vehicle signs, and didn't have the room really for anything much. So we moved over to the old CAT building. There's a shed out back of that. that's attached to the bus barn, Mid-Columbia Bus, and we were in that shed with no water or anything for I think about 5 years. And
Wow.
that was the Luke and Heidi Adams. They bought that building and retrofitted it. It looks great. I mean, if you guys saw the difference in the building, you need to go through it. He gave us space back there for. I mean, he's a friend, so I would say a little bit of nothing, and got us going over there. And we just outgrew it. I mean, there wasn't the space to be doing anything. As you can see, you've been in my shop here. It's just full of stuff. So we moved down to the Walmart area in interest of expanding a little more. Probably a dumb time to do it because it's right during COVID. I mean, who expands when you can't expand? So it's been a little bit of growing pains, but we're making it work. Mark and Lorna Ullman, we're leasing a building from them down there on Island Avenue, and they've just been wonderful, and letting us kind of grow and do what we want. But yeah, we're happy to be there. It's a really nice location.
And that is right. Panda Express is right across the street from you now. So.
Yeah, we hate those guys. They blocked our view. Yeah. No, it's kind of going to be a little iconic corner there. I think it's going to get more and more congested. Hopefully we need another story so people can see us. We're kind of low in a hole there, but it's the blue building.
Sign that sticks way up.
Yeah, right. I know a sign company to make that, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, any sign people? Yeah.
I get that a lot.
Yeah.
So I put your guys' Facebook page in the comments if anybody wants to go check out their Facebook page. What about a website? Are you gonna start hammering out a website, or do you have something going?
Yeah, we're online. I think it's camdesigns.org.
Okay.
Just, that way. Yep, it's on there, and that's kind of got a lot of our products. I think are getting up there as far as wood stoves, and we've my wife hates the website because it's integrated with our point of sale system for the store, and it's really complicated. But we're making it work. We're just us. I mean, like you say, we're just family. So my daughter gets home from school and starts working on the website just about every day a little bit. But it is up, and people can contact us, send us files for designing, whatnot there.
Good.
It's in the comments. Now, what about Instagram? You got Instagram?
No, I know we have a Facebook presence. I don't even think I have Instagram on my phone, but my wife probably would be able to make that work. Yeah, so I told you I was provincial. Yeah, I mean,
that's all right. Maybe we can help you with some of that stuff. Yeah,
we got the website and the Facebook page up there now for people to go to. Yep.
Well, that's very cool. Yeah. Well, Frank, man, I appreciate you taking the time and coming on, and we're working on a video for you guys, and I'm excited to kind of show the variety of stuff that you guys do. Talk for a minute about the CNC machine that you have that will do. I mean, it's unique because it'll do a 4x8 sheet of something, but it'll do depth also.
Well, it's a 3D router is what it's called, and many people have gotten those. They're kind of like 3D printers. You can get them kind of small and desktop based, pretty much anywhere. Probably Amazon now. We've had it for a number of years. It's our homemade router, but they're available. And most sign companies, when they get bigger, they have to go that route because it enables us to shape cut, substrates and shape cut thick foam letters. But a 3D router, in other words, can cut in the XY, I mean the big table, and then it also can go vertically. So you can do all three motions together and make a truly 3D sign or 3D project. And we also, I think, have a rotary on the end, so I can do round stuff. It's kind of a cool machine. They're tough to run. They're expensive to run because they're slow. I mean, it's just a lot of hours to do something real big, which people don't really realize. But we can kind of, with that machine, make pretty much anything that's routable. We use a lot of foams on it and aluminum. It's a unique machine. It's mostly used, I think, for the signs that we make. A lot of people, don't really want us just a big square sign. They want something that's shaped. So we have that, and then of course we can do plasma, shape cutting stuff in plasma too. So metal or wood or plastic, we can pretty much make anything.
So that's when awesome. On that router, that 3D router, does it cut straight only, or does it? Could you like do a beveled edge? I mean, does it tell? I don't know.
No, it's not that advanced.
Okay.
Now that's that adds another degree of freedom or another axis. So yeah, they're available. I mean, they have, like, if you're going to big manufacturers can carve an entire car or airplane, prototype out of something where the head moves in many directions. But no, it's beyond the scope of what we would do here in LeGrand. It'd be kind of cool. Don't get me started. I might, add that, but I don't know that we would use it very much for what we do. I would just put a profiled bit in if I had to do a bevel, in other words, and just do it vertically.
Yeah. So then you can, and how thick of material can you cut with that?
I think I have about 6 inches of vertical travel that I can use. So I don't know exactly, but yeah, so pretty thick. I mean, you could make, layer up a big box or something.
Huh. That's very cool.
Yep.
Well, so stoves,
chimney
signs,
cleaning,
wraps, anything else that we've kind of forgot? You do some construction stuff, but you're and you have a contractor's license.
Yeah, that's kind of where we started, and it does. We do. I try to stay in the shop more because when you have a location like that, you can't be gone much. So, signs and stoves are probably our big two, but we can really accomplish a lot of little things, a lot of little deals. So signs probably pay the bills, and stoves are hopefully starting more, to grow more. This is a tough year to be doing it. We can't hardly get product this year, but we hope to be set up better next year for everybody.
Well, and I was in there yesterday, and you have this cutest little stove. Anyhow, we'll have to, when we're doing a video for you guys, I don't know that we've taken a video of your interior yet, of your stoves and stuff, but you just got some nice, and your stoves are quality. Yeah. You call them lifetime brands.
Yeah. Right? I mean, you can go to Lowe's or Home Depot and get a stove, and they're fairly inexpensive, but yeah, we try to get something that, we can be proud of. Cast irons is a good stove to have, to last a long time. Or if it is a sheet metal stove, it's got some features which make it at least replaceable, maintainable, rather than something you're going to throw away in 5-6 years. So, yeah, that little parlor stove you're talking about is pretty cool. Who has a parlor anymore? But that's really what it was designed to be. Dodgy doesn't have a parlor. Do you need one?
But it's old school. It's got like a hot plate on top of it for like a tea kettle or something, and
yeah, a pot of beans could be going on there, I guess. If you're, you're off grid, that's the only way to go. So, yeah, it's surprisingly popular. I looked at that thing, and I had run one years ago, and I said, you almost need a milking stool to sit there and just feed a little kindling in the thing, but it does work well.
Huh.
Well, cool stuff.
Yep.
Well, Frank, thanks a bunch for coming on, and really appreciate you taking the time. And again, look at this van, folks. Isn't that just beautiful? And thank you guys for doing that for us. And
looks excellent.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, guys. I really like your platform here. I think you got a great idea. You need community support, obviously, to make this thing sustainable and work. So we wish you the best, and we're happy to kind of partner with you.
Yep.
We both need exposure, so it's been been a good marriage so far.
Good.
Yep. I mean, engagement.
Appreciate
it. Yeah. Okay. All righty. Well,
thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you, Frank.
All right, BC. I'm gonna play that Molly clip because it's the teaser for today.
Yeah. Okay.
We had Dane and Molly on the Keeping It Clear with Cody Bowen show, and somebody in the comments said you should let Molly bite you with the sleeve on. And I wasn't going to do it at first. Bud, come on, Bud. He's saying we need to try it one time. Bud, we're not trying. We're not trying. There's two things I'm not doing. I'm not going up in the sky, and I'm not getting bit by a dog. Period. But then a bunch of people have been kind of peer pressured me into it, so here we go. She's looking like she's going to go, dude.
All right.
Yeah, that's today at 5:30. Sports show. I'm gonna do the sports show early today, so 4:30, and then we'll have. Today's Thursday. So news roundup tomorrow, and then the weekend forecast tomorrow too.
Yep. So
got my list, and let's get out of here.
Yeah.
On this day, December 2nd, 1816, the first savings bank in the United States opened. Philadelphia Savings Fund Society, 1816. 1845, U.S. President James K. Polk announced to Congress that the United States should aggressively expand into the West, a widely held belief termed Manifest Destiny by newspaper editor John O'Sullivan. On this day in 1927, the first Model A Ford sold for, how much do you think it sold for, BC?
$800.
$385 for a car.
Wow. What year was that again?
1927. 1952, the first human birth was televised to the public. First time of birth was ever televised on KOA TV, Denver, Colorado. 1960, on this day, paleoanthropologist Louis Leakey discovered 1.4 million year old Homo erectus in Olduvai Gorge, Tanzania. 1.4 million years old. On this day in 1988, ESPN aired its 10,000th edition of SportsCenter, making it the most televised cable program in history. That's it. Number one song in 2001. I had to go to 2001 because we had already had all the other ones. Was "You Got It Bad" by Usher. Good song. Really good song, actually. And then the quote for today is Robert Downey Jr. There's unpound gold in every soul you run into, no matter what. Hang on. There's unpanned gold in every soul you run into, no matter what walk of life they are from. There we go. It's hard to see. My camera's in the way of it, so I have to kind of dodge. Maybe I should write that down. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Good stuff.
Thursday. We're out. We're back on Tuesday.
All right. Thanks, Eastern
All right.
Oregon.